The war between the United States and Iran has spread in the Gulf region. While the two sides continue relentless attacks on each other, Iran's neighbors have now found themselves in the crosshairs, raising questions over whether they could be drawn into the war. Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar and Kuwait and even Bahrain have all reported fresh attacks. On Sunday, Kuwait said 2 border guards were killed while on duty, and fuel tanks at the country's international airport were targeted in a drone attack. The UAE says its air defenses detected 17 ballistic missiles, destroying 16 of them, while 1 fell into the sea. 3 people were also wounded in Bahrain, and a water desalination plant was damaged. Saudi Arabia's defense ministry says its air defenses intercepted 15 drones, including 1 targeting the diplomatic quarter of the capital Riyadh. All these attacks have sent ripples across the Gulf region. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi says he's constantly in touch with Riyadh. The attacks are ongoing despite Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian apologizing for the strikes.
Israel and US wants us and the Islamic countries to be at war. They want to create division between us and them. What is happening is that if from any country they attack our soil and carry out aggression, naturally, we are obliged to respond to them. When we respond to them, this does not mean that we have a dispute with that country. It does not mean that we want to upset the people there. If we have disagreements among ourselves, we must resolve them internally and not allow them to use these disagreements to carry out their malicious intentions. This must not be allowed.
Saudi Arabia has for a long time refrained from taking an offensive stance, and reports suggest Riyadh has reached out to Tehran as it continues to favor a diplomatic solution to the conflict. But Saudi Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan has warned that continued attacks on the kingdom and its energy sector could force Riyadh to respond in kind and even permit US forces to use bases in Saudi Arabia for military operations. If Saudi Arabia changes its stance and launches retaliatory strikes, it could also drag Pakistan into the conflict and also the wider Gulf. Saudi Arabia is one of the members of the Arab League, which shares a defense pact requiring member states to coordinate military defense measures and consider any aggression against one member as an attack on all. Early this week, Saudi Defense Minister Prince Khalid bin Salman met Pakistan's Army Chief Field Marshal Asim Munir to discuss the situation. The meeting is significant because of a strategic mutual defense pact signed between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan back in September 2025. The agreement, signed by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, states that an attack on one country may be treated as an attack on both. This means that any major strike on Saudi territory could potentially trigger Pakistan's defense commitments. Pakistan has long maintained close military ties with Saudi Arabia, with Pakistani troops stationed in the kingdom for trading and defense support. However, direct involvement in a wider Middle East war will be complex for Islamabad, which is currently facing economic pressures and internal security challenges.